Best Ukrainian traditional food, borscht with pampashki. To start with the classics, the most well-known and symbolical traditional Ukrainian food is, of course, borscht, a vegetable soup, made of beetroot, cabbage, tomatoes, potatoes and dill. Sometimes, meat or fish is added into the dish. Borscht has been one of the main dishes on Ukrainian table way back since the 14th century, so it's no wonder there are more than 30 variations of its recipe. Apart from the classical red borscht, in which beetroot gives its recognizable color, many Ukrainians also love green borscht, where the main component is sorrel leaves. It is often served in summer and considered the light dish. Red borscht is traditionally served with pampashki, small, fluffy buns often sprinkled with garlic and dill. Flaky dough with sweet taste helps to enhance the taste of borscht. You can taste borscht in Ukrainian restaurants for approximately US $6,100.
Veranakey, one of the most famous Ukrainian dishes, Veranakey, are dumplings with a variety of fillings, from sweet to sour. Each Ukrainian mistress has her own recipe of Veranakey, but the preparation method stays the same, wrapping unleavened dough around the filling. The most basic filling is boiled potatoes. This way Veranakey are a pretty simple, yet delicious savory dish, often sprinkled with dill. Other savory fillings include pickled cabbage, salty cheese, boiled mushrooms, as well as meat, liver, or fish. The most popular sweet filling, without a doubt, is cherry, which makes sweet Veranakey a perfect summer dish. Even Nikolai Gogol wrote about the dish, saving a useful tip throughout the centuries: don't forget to serve sour cream and dip Veranakey in it before eating. The price of Veranakey in a restaurant depends on their filling. The prices vary from UAH 50 to UAH 150. Chicken Kiev, one of the traditional kinds of Ukrainian food, chicken Kiev has a long history. According to one theory, recipe was invented by French chefs, who lived on the territory of the Russian Empire during the 19th century. Historians state that chicken Kiev first appeared in the capital of Ukraine in 1918, during the reign of Pavlo Skoropadsky. Nevertheless, fried chicken fillet, stuffed with herbs and coated with breadcrumbs and eggs, gained its true popularity in a post-war era, and it hasn't left the menus of Ukrainian cuisine restaurants ever since. The price of chicken Kiev in a restaurant is approximately UAH 100 to 180. Diruny, or potato pancakes, are incredibly popular in northern and western regions of Ukraine. The name of the popular Ukrainian dish derives from the way of cooking. Verb dirty means to strip or to skin, which is exactly what Ukrainians do with potatoes to prepare this dish. The recipes are passed from generation to generation and include various ingredients. The most popular way is to add onion and egg to the grated potatoes, and then fry it in the form of small pancakes. Diruny are usually served with sour cream, sometimes with adding garlic. In Ukraine, this dish was traditionally served on Sundays as breakfast or dinner. You can try diruny in a good dining spot for around 80 to 100 UAH. Salo, yet another symbolic traditional Ukrainian dish. Salo is cold, white pork fat, which can have skin left on the top or be served without it. Due to its incredibly nourishing qualities, as well as easy preservation, salo has been extremely popular throughout Ukrainian history. It can be consumed solely as an appetizer, or placed on bread, sprinkled with garlic and side dished with pickled vegetables. Horolka, traditional Ukrainian alcoholic beverage, is the best drink to top salo. By the way, an incredibly popular dessert salo incolocate chocolate sweets with smold salo, butter, and often liquor, is almost impossible to buy in the shops nowadays. There are a couple of places in Kiev or Lviv that still preserve this tradition. A portion of salo costs around UAH 70. SYRNYK, often called a Ukrainian analog of cheesecake, SYRNYK are roasted pancakes, made of home cheese, flour, eggs as well as salt and sugar. SYRNYK are definitely one of the best sweet dishes in Ukraine. Known since the 18th century and popular in all regions of Ukraine, SYRNYK can be both sour and sweet, depending on the serving. For sour SYRNYK, Ukrainians usually add more salt in the mix and serve them with sour cream. The sweet ones can be topped with sugar powder, honey, and various jams. Due to their popularity, SYRNYK are often served in cafes and restaurants for breakfast, or as dessert. Tasty SYRNYK costs approximately UAH 50 to 70. SYRNYK, one of the best examples of Ukrainian traditional food, SYRNYK are sometimes overlooked or lost in the shadow of other popular dishes. Nevertheless, if you open a fridge of an average Ukrainian, you might see these intriguing rolls. The dish is essentially rolled thin crepes with cottage cheese, which can be left sweet or mixed with dill to become savory. The other popular fillings include cabbage, mushrooms, caviar, and berries, but cottage cheese stays the classical one throughout centuries. If you want to taste SYRNYK, you can find them in menu for around UAH 70 to 110. CRUYAN, also called zavivancy, CRUYAN are one of the best Ukrainian hutsal dishes that come from Volyn region. These are meat rolls stuffed with minced meat, pate, and prunes with nuts. As always, every village and house had their own version of the recipe, but usually meat used for CRUYAN is pork, accompanied by mushrooms. Turkey, chicken, beef, and even liver are also used up to the chef's taste. CRUYAN are incredibly nourishing and can be served as a main dish. A portion of CRUYAN in a restaurant costs around UAH 100 to 160. Banus, an incredibly popular dish of western Ukraine, banus, or banaz is a stew from cornmeal with sour cream, pork rind, mushrooms and savory cheese. The meal was typically served in the region for guests during various holidays, and up to this day is beloved by hundreds of tourists who visit Carpathians in any time of the year. Kutya, one of the 12 traditional Ukrainian Christmas dishes, kutya historically became the main food associated with Christmas time in Ukraine. It is the first of 12 dishes that are to be tasted on Svyat Večer, and has to be tasted by every guest in the house. The recipe is known from the ancient times, and hasn't changed much since. Wheat or barley grains were processed in stupa, then crushed poppy seeds, walnuts, and steamed raisins were added to the mix. It was then boiled in a clay pot. According to tradition, on this day kids, preferably young boys, brought kutya to the table. They also served other dishes to their elderly relatives.